SmackDown Live review, where I sit down, talk about what happened on SmackDown with you guys in the chat. You guys give me your opinions throughout the show. We go through the entire card. You guys let me know where I was wrong, where I was right. We have a good old time. We have some fun. The more you guys interact, the more fun it is. So if you guys ever want to interact with this and you're watching this later, make sure you guys check it out about 11 o'clock on Tuesdays to get your SmackDown review. And on Mondays, I shoot for at least 12:30 to hit you guys with that Raw review. So if you guys ever want to come and interact with me in the chat, make sure you guys go and do that. But right now, we're going to talk about SmackDown Live. And right off the bat, like I was saying before I started the show, I enjoyed the shit out of SmackDown. If you guys want to see a negative review or don't want to see somebody talking about a lot of the good, I recommend not watching this because I'm going to talk about a whole lot of good and a whole lot of stuff that I enjoyed. So if you guys aren't like me and you didn't enjoy this shit, I'm sorry, but I enjoyed the hell out of it, and that is what I'm going to talk about. So I always have my notes in my phone as I take while we're watching. So right off the bat, the opening 20 minutes of SmackDown Live were better than the entire Raw show. We're talking about AJ Styles coming out, Dean Ambrose, John Cena making his return, and we're talking straight fire. Straight fire, guys. Oh shit. The promos were cut beautifully. We had AJ doing his heel thing, but not berating the crowd, so he's like a heel, but he's a heel that still gets love. He wasn't attacking the crowd. We had Dean Ambrose, we had John Cena wanting his title back. AJ threw his the headband back at his face. Thought that was amazing. Where when John Cena was like, "Oh, you have something of mine," AJ just threw it out and threw it in his face. I thought it was brilliant. John Cena got into a whole little thing with Dean Ambrose when he came out, because Dean Ambrose was saying that AJ cheated and that Dean Ambrose could take a loss, but the way that AJ won was just messed up. Ate that up. John Cena got involved. Talked about the Stone Cold podcast. Talked about Dean Ambrose having no balls. Dean Ambrose saying that he doesn't respect him, or that John Cena is a part-time, lazy part-timer. I mean, it was like a shoot promo, and it was fucking brilliant. Amazing. Harold in the comments says, double standard. If Cena was a woman named Joni Cena, would she have to earn her title or number one contender? What? Call it the Hogan syndrome. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I enjoyed the hell out of it. Alright. So out comes Shane McMahon after that fire promo. Guys, you don't understand how fire this promo was. If you do anything, watch the first 20 minutes of SmackDown Live, because if you do anything, the crowd was chanting for Cena. Yes, the crowd was chanting for Cena. That means something. If you're not a wrestling fan or hardcore guy, a hardcore fan, you don't get it. The crowd was chanting for Cena. Holy shit. And it wasn't let's go Cena, Cena sucks. No, this was pure chanting for Cena. Guys, it was that good. Cena was that money. And that interaction was fire. I loved it. I loved it so much. Alright. The first one? Okay. Right after that, Shane McMahon comes out. I mentioned the Stone Cold podcast, the part-time lazy. Out comes Shane McMahon, and he talks about that everybody's earned their right to go for this title when it comes to Dean and John Cena, and that AJ won in a coward or in a cheating fashion, but whatever, he earned it, he got the belt. And what Shane McMahon says is that we're gonna have a triple threat match at No Mercy for the WWE World Championship, and it's between Cena, Ambrose, and AJ Styles. So holy shit, No Mercy is already looking like a fire of a card based on that match alone. I'm super pumped. I'm excited. I'm super excited about this. I like the way it started. Like I said, fire got me in the mood. The best way to start off SmackDown or any wrestling show is to start off on a high note, because it gets me in the mood. It gets me feeling good. It gets me excited. And that's exactly what SmackDown did. So props to SmackDown. Alright, next we had a rematch from last night. Usos versus HiBros. And where are we at? Usos versus HiBros. This was just a rematch from last night. Pretty much this match was made just to have the Usos squash the HiBros. They showed more of a dominance over the HiBros than they did in the first match on Backlash. But This match was okay. The Usos came out dressed differently. What I found interesting was that the Usos were already in the ring, so we didn't even get the Usos like intro. And I'm wondering if they did that because they're gonna work on their intro and get that intro to be more in line of their heel ways. But they're not wearing black this time. They were wearing red. It fit still. They were still doing heel tactics. And this was different than what I thought was gonna happen, because what I thought was gonna happen was that Rhyno and Heath were gonna go against the Usos and lose the title right away. So that's how I thought that was gonna happen, but it didn't. The Usos ended up going over, establishing dominance, and that's how that went down. Next, we had Curt Hawkins finally showing up, and all I wrote in my notes was Curt Hawkins, what the fuck? Because in this time, like when we saw that Curt Hawkins was coming, and he was going to be premiering right here, I wasn't expecting like for him to, instead of us reading the facts, this time Curt Hawkins just said the facts, and he did like these weird faces and whatever. I'm worried about Curt Hawkins when he shows up. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with him. Then we had the Miz, Dolph, Daniel Bryan segment, and this is the Miz talking about how he won. He stole the championship. He's held the belt longer than most people. Dolph comes out. Dolph saying he wants another chance, that he cheated and all this other stuff. Out comes Daniel Bryan to say that this match is going to happen, that Dolph is going to get a rematch, but that the Miz again brings up his contract, that he wants a contract or to renegotiate his contract, and until he gets a renegotiation of his contract, he will not participate in any title matches. So that went down for a while. It was interesting. Daniel came into the ring and scared the Miz off, so they are really feeding into this Daniel Bryan thing. Like, man, it's like kind of a troll because fans know that Daniel can't compete, but whatever. All right, next we had Apollo versus Baron Corbin rematch, and this time Apollo got beat up before he even showed up. Before he even got into the ring, pretty much he got beat up by Baron Corbin, and I just gotta say they are burying the shit out of Apollo Crews now. Like, it's over. Apollo Crews and his spelling bee gimmick is done. He lost yesterday. He pretty much didn't get to compete today, and right after the match, Jack Swagger showed up, not wearing the blue, not wearing anything special, wearing like I think jeans and a shirt. Showed up, got in the ring, started doing his a different routine where he's like the free agent, not the free agent, but like he signed at 12 o'clock. His contract was over. I guess this is the way that they're going to do the contract signings, where when they'll say that the contract's up and the wrestler can leave, which is the way that they can get Cesaro over to SmackDown. Jack Swagger is, I guess, going to be more of an aggressive. He's talking about building a new start, new beginning. So that's what they're going to do with Jack Swagger. Good for him, because he was doing absolutely nothing over there on Raw, and he hasn't been doing anything for a while. But I think Jack Swagger has a lot of potential. He had the championship for a while, and I think he had decent runs. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do with him, because you now adding Curt Hawkins, now adding Jack Swagger, they're building that mid card to actually mean something to me, because now you have, instead of before you had like Ring Nobody, but now think about the mid card. The mid card has Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, you have Dolph Ziggler, you have The Miz, you have Baron Corbin, you have Apollo Crews, Curt Hawkins now, and you have Jack Swagger. You're building it. Like, you're building that mid card and giving people chances, and that's the one thing that we can all say about this the draft. For as many people that didn't want it, this is actually helping them out. I forgot to scroll down. Sorry about that. Yeah, so I'm actually digging it. I'm liking it. And next we had the Fatal 5-Way. No elimination this time between the women to determine who was going to get the #1 contendership for Becky Lynch's women's championship. Most people speculated it would be Alexa Bliss, just because every other female in this match has a storyline with one another. Alexa Bliss was like the odd woman out that didn't really have anything with these other women in the ring. So Alexa Bliss ends up going over, and what I wrote here was a pretty good match. Not as good as yesterday's match, but I thought it was a very entertaining, very fun match. There were a few botches again, and my one thing that I took away from this match was that Naomi and Natalya really don't have great chemistry. Like, I don't know, like, they botched, like they had a bad botch yesterday with that Hurricane Rana, another really pretty bad spots tonight. But overall, I thought the match was good. Everyone looked pretty good. Carmella got a really crazy heel super kick in, so I'm wondering if that's going to be one of her finishers as well. So I don't know. I enjoyed the match. This is why you think SmackDown needs a mid-card title, World TV or SmackDown. I don't want a SmackDown US title because that makes no sense to me. But a TV title, I think they do deserve a TV title. I think that there should be a title that's defended on SmackDown every week. Every single week, there's a SmackDown title defended every week. That would be awesome if there was like a SmackDown TV title that was defended every week, but not at pay-per-views. That would be a lot of fun. I actually enjoy that. And I don't know, right now, Vince does say he wants equal championships on both cards, and I don't want the cruiserweights on SmackDown. I'd much rather them bring a TV title in instead of that. All right. Next we had Miz attacks. We had Randy Orton calling out Bray Wyatt, doing the whole thing. Randy saying that Bray isn't the face of fear. He's the face of fear because he's scared of people or whatever, or he's scared of Randy. And it was the whole thing. Bray does something on the Titantron or on the screen. He shows up in the ring outside, and when Randy's like they're about to go at it, behind Randy Orton is Rowan. What's the first guy's name? Whatever. The Wyatt, Rowan. Can't remember his first name. I can't remember his full name right now. I'm drawing a blank. You guys do leave it in the chat below because I can't remember. But he attacks Randy Orton. Randy Orton gets beat up for a little bit, so I'm guessing he's cleared. Literally one day for him to get cleared. He somehow manages to get out of getting beat up. Hits the RKO on Eric Rowan. There we go. Fuck. He hits the RKO on Eric Rowan, and I wrote here, making the Wyatts look weak once again, because every single time Bray hasn't won a pay-per-view match that mattered in fucking forever. All of the Wyatts get beat up, every single one of them. None of them mean anything. I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting tired of Bray killing it on the promos, coming out, having a great character, and then doing nothing with it. It's bothering me. It's really bothering me because Bray should be a dude that dominates the shit out of people, wins at whatever cost. Like, he messes you up. Steven Larson constantly say that what makes Bray the best Bray interaction with a wrestler was him and Xavier Woods, where Xavier Woods sold that he was changing, and I agree. I really think that was awesome. Keep forgetting to do this. Oh yeah, we have the Heath Slater contract. What the fuck was that? Sorry about that. Skip that. So Heath Slater got to sign his contract. He was talking, saying all this amazing stuff, thanking everybody, saying that they'll take on any single person that comes out. And right there, I was like, oh, it's gonna be the Usos. They're gonna have the Usos come out. But nope, the people that come out is the Ascension, and every single person got upset. I hope SmackDown Live make a WWE Network Championship. A Network Championship would be, I don't know how that would work, because a Network Championship would just be a championship that's defended on the pay-per-views, which is what already happens. I think a TV title would probably be better. I don't know if you have like a format of how you think the Network Championship would go. Let me know how you would book it, how you would actually book a Network Championship. Because the way I think about it is like, oh, it'll be a championship that's defended on pay-per-views, but that's already what they do now anyway. A TV title would be one that's only defended on SmackDown. You know what I mean? That's what I would do. So I'll keep the Ascension, and when I was like, there's no way they're gonna have the Ascension win, right? Because people were speculating that the Usos would win the title, and Network TV, it's the same, dude. Oh, like. No, but calling it the WWE Network Championship makes it seem like it only gets defended on the WWE Network. Like, Network TV, that's like calling it the TV Championship is like it's being defended only on TV, like on actual TV live shows like SmackDown. Like a championship that's defended every single Tuesday. Like every single Tuesday, a championship would get defended. Like, can you imagine if they did it like? It'll be literally like having the John Cena Open Challenge every single week with this TV title. That's how I would do it. Where whoever wins never knows who his opponent's going to be. And that's just how I would book it. I don't know. That's how I would do it. It would be a lot of fun for me. But in this Ascension match, Heath Slater and Rhyno look good. They win. And I was happy. I was like, yes, They're gonna keep Rhyno and Heath together, building this up. I'm not sure what they're gonna do going forward from this. Like maybe next week they'll beat up the Vaudevillains, and then the week after that maybe they'll beat up the who else is left? Vaudevillains. Breezango. Like that's how you can do it. That's how I would do it. Harlan's over here saying Zack Ryder, the internet champion, and Marvin saying Carmella and Alexa is the new era. Alexa, yes. Carmella, she's getting better. Once she went heel, I dug it. So that's what I'm thinking with the Heath Slater and Rhyno segment. All right, then we had the Randy Orton segment, which I already talked about. It's gonna be so pointless, man. Like this is so fucking pointless. Like we all know, like it's gonna be a good match, but we all know Randy's gonna win. Like maybe at No Mercy, maybe Luke Harper comes back, and that's how Bray gets a win. But you can't have Luke Harper come back and then nobody wins. Like I mean, and then Randy beats all three of the Wyatt. Like it just fucking makes no sense. You have to have something happen. Dolph needs a manager like Lana and Maurice. Whenever Dolph had a woman, I mean, he had AJ Lee for a while. I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about that. All right, the ending of the night, we had. Let's get this up here. We had AJ Styles and the partner of his choosing versus Dean Ambrose and John Cena. Now, throughout the night, AJ Styles was looking for a partner. He couldn't. He went to Baron Corbin. He went to Kane. He went to all these people. He couldn't find a partner. And then Daniel Bryan shows up and he's like, hey, I got the perfect partner for you. And he shows and he brings up James Ellsworth, who's the guy that got beat up, the jobber that got beat up by Braun Strowman a couple weeks ago. And AJ sold it like so hard, like he's like a mad child. But he couldn't find anybody else, and instead of going in alone, he had James Ellsworth come up with him. And right as that happens, bam! The Miz attacks James Ellsworth as he's getting his opportunity to shine for no real reason other than Miz wants to be in the main event. He's the main event. He's the spotlight. And I get it. It makes sense, but my problem was the ending of the match because Miz is doing some good stuff right now, and what they ended up doing. Let me figure out a better way to do this shit. Figure out a better way to do this. Do it like this. It's too fast. Oh, slow down. So it's the Miz, AJ Styles versus John Cena, Dean Ambrose. I'm trying to like do a way where, alright, whatever. It was a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I think that they interacted well. I think that John Cena and Dean Ambrose looked like they were getting along. They brought in the Miz. This is my problem. So they brought in the Miz, right? And the Miz is the one that got pinned and got beat and lost. But like, they did it because they didn't want to have AJ job or AJ get lose or Dean or John, right? But they shouldn't have done the Miz because the Miz is like this guy trying to prove that he belongs in the spotlight, and he's a company man, so of course he went along with it. But having him be the guy that takes the loss, didn't help anyone. Like they should have brought out. I don't know who else is heel. That's the problem. There's not that many heels left. I don't know. Maybe they should have had Jack Swagger. Like Jack Swagger show up. That could have been the mystery partner. I don't know. They could have done something. But having the Miz be the one that lost, like he looked okay. It was a decent match. It was fine. But I had a problem with the Miz losing, being the guy that gets pinned. All right, let's see what else happened, because I think that's pretty much might be everything that happened. What I noticed here is that at the end of the match, when the Miz gets pinned, John Cena and Dean Ambrose are celebrating. John Cena's on the rope, and John Cena gets down. Dean hits John Cena with the Dirty Deeds. So I wrote here heelish Dean, like Dean might be going heelish, but he's always been he's been like the guy that's kind of like Stone Cold, where he's not really a heel, not really a face, so he's kind of in the middle. Then I wrote here Dean might always be better chasing the title. This is something that I thought about because he was so good tonight, and I was wondering if Dean with the title isn't that great, but when he's chasing, it's a lot of fun. So that's what I wrote there. But that brings me to the end of the show. So let me know what you guys thought. If you guys enjoyed the show, make sure you guys comment below in the chat. If you guys are in the chat live, let me know right now. If you guys have any questions, anything you want to know, anything you want to ask, your thoughts, I'll go through them, and we'll end the show with a bit of conversation if anybody wants to chat with me. If nobody's down to chat, it's cool. I'll be back on Thursday to talk about the news of the week. I'm assuming a lot of Paige, a lot of our bros are the real stuff. But if you have anything tonight, make sure you guys comment. Let me know in the chat what you guys saw or if anything you want to talk about. But overall, I enjoyed the hell out of SmackDown. It flew by. A lot of fun. Enjoyed the hell out of it. So I'm hoping that SmackDown continues to be the awesome show. And if I'm being real with you guys, so after Backlash and the SmackDown after Backlash have been really good. I'm curious as to how Raw is going to handle with their pay-per-view. Let's see. Marvin says Dean and Dolph need to switch places. Not sure what that means. Like, do you mean that Dean needs to be for the IC and Dolph for the champ? Like, no, I don't know. I like Dean. Who behind Cena and Flair being a numerous world championship from the 80s? Nobody ever remembered number 2 or 3. I don't know what that means. But Cena's going to get the 16-time championship. I mean, you got to just accept it. Cena's going to get it. It's going to happen. He's going to get it. People are going to be upset. They postponed it as far as they can. I think AJ wins this weekend. I think AJ doesn't lose until probably Survivor Series. It just would make more sense that Dean and John Cena are fighting for it. Like, that's what I would do. That's the best way. And if you really think about it, everybody else is already in something. So there's nothing you can put any of these other guys in. There's nobody else that can take a run at the championship besides Dean and John. If they make singles matches like between John and Cena, John and Styles, what do you do with Dean? Dean just is there. Like, there's not enough people right now on SmackDown. You gotta have this triple threat thing happen. Maybe what I would do is I would have this triple threat happen. AJ wins. The next pay-per-view, have John Cena and Dean fight. The winner of that gets AJ in the night. AJ still wins because the two men take each other out of it. Like, so bad. That's how you keep them going. Like, you keep these three people in the main title picture for right now, because you're bringing in people that could definitely do stuff for the mid card, but there isn't heavy hitters. Like, yeah, you'll probably get Randy Orton soon. Randy Orton will somehow get involved later on. Yeah, Bray, if they fix him and they get him back up top, he can do some things. Dolph and Alexa need to team up. No, Alexa's a beast without Dolph Ziggler. So, I'm gonna do something. So, I mean, that's what I would do. Like, I would do that. That's how I would keep this momentum going, at least till maybe Survivor Series. Then maybe that's when AJ will lose. Then that's when you maybe bring back Cena. No, actually, no. I would want... Damn, I don't know, because would I want to see Cena versus Bray again? That was a pretty good fight. I don't know. Like, I don't know what happens after this triangle, because AJ has to be in the title picture for a while. I think AJ needs to stay in the title picture till WrestleMania. That's what I would do if I was WWE. Keep him in the title picture. So, yeah, you have John go in here. You have John fight for this thing, but after Survivor Series, if AJ does lose, you have to leave AJ around. Maybe you bring in a third party. You bring in Bray. You bring in Randy. Maybe you do Randy versus Dean. I don't think these guys have fought. You can even do Bray versus Dean again. Like, there's a lot of things you can do. Like, there's 5 guys at the top of the heap right now, if you really think about it, right? 5 guys that can legitimately go into the title picture and people would believe it right now. And that's these 3 men: AJ, John, Dean, Randy Orton, and Bray Wyatt. Those are the 5 right now that you can intertwine them in the title picture and it would be okay. The mid card, we built it up with adding Kurt Hawkins and adding Jack Swagger, so we have about 6 to 7 guys in the mid card right now that are good. The women are fine. They're doing way more than I thought they were going to do with these women. Super cool with that. Tag division is decent right now, adding Rhyno and Slater with this story. Lets it keep going for a while. I'm cool with it. Carmella is a cheerleader. You keep wanting to put these actual wrestlers as managers. I don't think none of them should be managers. I think that they're good the way they are. Like, so I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I mean, let me know your thoughts, what you guys think. If you guys are like, no, Steven, this is what I would do, this is how I would book it, let me know. And if you guys enjoyed my review, hit the like button as always, subscribe to the channel, comment below,